What's up, Capoeira Nation? Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for every single of you that are listening to this Capoeira podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, if you are tuning in right now and if you are listening to this episode, please, 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 I know you're watching or I know you are listening. Okay, I know you're following me on Instagram. So please give me a subscribe on YouTube. I'm trying to get to the 100 subscribers. I know it's a tiny bit, but slowly we can grow together, and slowly I can grow even bigger. The more I grow, that means more information for you. So soon, very very soon, I don't know when, I'm going to start giving away some capoeira gear. Could be a capoeira hat, could be a capoeira shirt, could be a capoeira something. Okay, so please, capoeira sticker. If you like stickers, please give me a subscribe. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen to this episode. It's going to be fun. It's always fun with the Capoeira Experience podcast. Thank you so much. Let's roll. What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Capoeira Experience podcast. Thank you so much. I'm gonna say this every single time, every single episode. Thank you so much for everybody that listens to the podcast every single time, every single episode. If you haven't listened to the one of early episodes, there's a lot of information there, a lot of capoeira information there. Over 1,000 minutes in just information. Really, really cool information with many capoeiristas, many amazing capoeiristas, from beginners all the way to mestres and mestres, and all that kind of information is really, really cool for you to grab anything there that can help you to grow into your capoeira. And today I want to talk to you about something that is very, very, I guess, taboo. And I don't know, it's a taboo. I don't know what is the right word, or people don't want to really talk about it. Is that setting up business or capoeira in business, or doing business with capoeira, and I don't think in the capoeira community should be a taboo. I think these are very, very important for us that teach, and even students, even students, is very important for you to understand how this works, because without the understanding of this, it's very hard to grow a capoeira class, without the perspective. You can build it. I'm not saying you want. Probably a lot of people is going to disagree with me, which is fine. The capoeira roda, not everybody plays the same. If everybody plays the same, it would be boring. So, everybody should understand this. If you don't understand, that's fine too. As a student, let's put as a perspective of the student. When even helping your instructor, professor, mestre in the academy, paying the monthly, that's part of the business, because without you paying that, there's not going to be a space for you to train. And because if it's 10 of us paying the professor or mestre the monthly fee, even if it's through Zoom class, somebody got to pay for the Zoom. And the instructor or professor, maestro, whatever, whoever's teaching, have to pay that, So I understand right now, of course, right now is a different topic. But let's say if this virus is not around, or if this pandemic is not going around, is really good for us as a student to support our maestri, support, because that will help our maestri to pay for those kind of stuff, and that will keep the motivation there for you maestri, for your instructor, or whoever's teaching. I'm gonna say for whoever's teaching, to keep that motivation there. Not only motivation, and it's not too much about the financial motivation, it's also the work motivation, the time motivation. Is it feels good having that value that you give when you receive back that value, even if it's monetary or presence, or even just being there part of the class. Again, no, I'm not talking about the issue that's going around, a lot of people without jobs and all that. But if you got a job, please support your school, your professor, your whoever is teaching. Okay, support that person, because without you support, there's no school. You know what I mean? And without, we wouldn't teach without students. So it's good for you to have that support there. That being said, let me take it back. As a student, also spreading the word, that will help to bring more people, so you can have even better quality hadas. Like I always say in every earlier episodes, more people in the hada is way more fun. More people together is more fun. You have people playing together, sharing that energy together, and trust me, more people, more fun. Okay. And spread the word. As instructor, if you have business cards, you have flyers, you have the website, you have Instagram, and tag them on your Instagram, so people can see who's your teacher, who's your instructor, who is teaching you, so that person can get a little bit of we can say credit, I guess. Not like as a credit, but you can spread the word, like being like, I'm training under this person, or the class of this person, which is awesome. Every time I see that in Instagram story, that's awesome, because you're promoting your classes. You're promoting and you helping the person that's teaching you to spread the word. You imagine that you go to a war, and you go by yourself. You think you can handle 100 people? No, right? So if we have 100 people as a backup, everything spread faster. So it's going to be faster. Now I can say, that being said, as instructor, or if you are teaching, I think it's important for us to understand that even if you go to the library, look it up online, understand business basic, because without that lack of understanding of business setup, how I think, come on, man, like if you are training out there, or if you're teaching, I don't think there's no one out there that don't want to have their own studio. If it is, well, cool, it's fine. But me personally, at some point, I don't know how long that's going to take, but at some point I would like to have a studio, capoeira studio, where everybody comes and come to train, and everybody have a space without, being like, man, we gotta get out because I'm running out of time. So you don't have to rush. So the space is yours. You're already paying for the space. You're already renting the space, and the studio is yours pretty much. So you can be there many hours you want. So I really admire everybody that have their own capoeira studio out there. I admire those people, because it's a hard work. It's not easy. There's not easy to keep a studio. So you have to have diversity in the studio, not just capoeira, because only capoeira is going to be hard too. You have to be diverse on this point, because the foot traffic, again, in the business part, you need foot traffic. Without foot traffic, it's going to be hard to keep the studio open. You have to capoeira. I heard before, some people have capoeira, some people have boxing, some people have yoga, some people have many stuff. To jiu-jitsu, is very, very common too. You can have many people coming in to take different classes. So you have foot traffic, not only for capoeira. Not everybody's going to do capoeira. Everybody that step into the door, not everybody's going to do capoeira. Some people like baseball. So like some people like soccer. Some people like football, for American football. So everybody's going to have their public. But again, talking back about business, you have to understand this. Now, once you start getting into the mindset of building a business, you have to talk to people and be like, I teach capoeira, blah blah. Wherever you work, I teach capoeira. I teach capoeira. I teach capoeira. Go everywhere with a capoeira shirt. That happened to me many times here in Indianapolis. Where we have a capoeira shirt, and you do capoeira, yeah. Even if they don't show up to class, But there's people out there seeing capoeira shirts, and especially if you have your own shirt, much better. Just walk around there with capoeira shirt and with a website on the shirt or whatever you want to do, but with your shirt, your own capoeira shirt, so that way you spread the word, and you are your own advertising on two legs. So if you can say it like that, but that will help you to spread the word. Talk to people. Capoeira is people, so talk to people, man. If we want to grow our class, we have to talk to people. Once you set up, or you start getting to that information, I know more about the LLC, the limited liability company. So I know a little bit more about that side than how you call non-for-profit. So I know a little bit more about that side than non-for-profit. I don't know too much about non-for-profit. I don't know too much about how to set up the non-for-profit. But when you set up the LLC, and also I'm not giving advices, business advices. I'm just doing my point. I'm just giving you my point here, and you do whatever you want, And it's up to you whatever you do. But once you have this, you can set up. Can be you have LLC. You have many options. Look it up. Look how to set up a business, and there you have many options. For if you set up an LLC, limited liability company, so you can create different. You have to look it up. It's a lot of information. There's a lot of taxes and all that blah blah blah. So that's on you. You have to do that part. You have to do your homework on that, and once you set up one of those two, you can do, let's say I set up the Kashishi LLC, right? So now I have a studio, or I don't have a studio yet, but I rent space. I can rent the space through my business and be like, I'm teaching capoeira. I teach capoeira at a blah, blah, blah place. Then you have to start talking to people and start bringing people in, start bringing people for capoeira. And that comes part of the advertising. Advertising, you can probably, I personally, because I already have graphic design background, basic graphic design, it's not like I have a super crazy graphic design information, but I know a little bit about graphic design and graphics and vectors and all that. So I can create my own flyers. I can create my own pictures. I know a little bit about those kind of stuff. So it's better have a quality. I was listening the other day a podcast saying about, if you want to be treated professional, if you want to be treated as a responsible and professional person, you have to show that, So if you have a professional pictures, and it doesn't have to be like super crazy. I don't know. You don't have to go super crazy with pictures and spend a bunch of money, even with your phone. But read a little bit about taking pictures, how to take pictures, what are good angles, and usually, if you don't know this, usually for you to pick one picture, you have to take 100 pictures, in different angles with different lights and different movements, different capoeira movements. And one time taking pictures, you take 500 pictures, and then you pick 10 pictures out of those 500, and then you can use those 10 pictures to advertise your own capoeira classes. And if it's by yourself, if it is with somebody else, gotta be creative and create that content so people can see, especially today's days with the social media age, with the social media time, with everything is through social media, and even I've seen people teaching through social media. So in social media, it's very important for us to spread the word. It's very important for us to set up a website, social media. We have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have YouTube. Spread the word to those places. So for you to, and it's free. You know what I mean? Facebook is free, Instagram is free, YouTube is free, and of course not all the websites, but there's websites where you can find it free. Of course, you don't have the option, but you have to look it up. And for the website, you probably have to pay a little bit, but they're not that expensive. And what else? So other thing, for you got many stuff. You got business cards, you got stickers, you got flyers. Talk to people and be like, hey, reach out to people, man, local people, and be like, hey, you think we can do an interview? I've seen you doing local people. Can we do an interview for capoeira interview? And again, talking to people is so important for us, for our capoeira community, so we grow the capoeira community, so we can get out there, we can get our information out there. Is a lot of work, but if you want to teach, if you are a teacher, instructor, or if you want to teach and be in front of people, you have to talk to people. If we don't talk to people, how are we gonna get people? You know what I mean? You just gotta do it. You just gotta get out there and use social media. And like I said before, social media is free. If you want to do an advertising on social media, you have to do your homework too, and you have to find or either a picture or even a video. Do like a very short capoeira video, and learn how to be comfortable in front of camera. In front of camera is talking to people, talking to somebody else, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time talking in front of a camera, so you don't get awkward and you don't get at the beginning. Trust me, it doesn't have to be perfect. So talk to people and get comfortable in front of a camera, especially if you're gonna get interview, man. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? You have to talk to people, man. We have to talk to people and post on social media all the time. And what I like to do with my Capoeira Indianapolis social media or my Instagram, you can do whatever you want, but this is my personal, this is the way I like to do it. I like to post about my students. I don't usually post on social media about me. I post about my students because I have my students, because they are the work that we're doing there, And I shout out to all my students. You guys are doing it awesome. You guys are rocking the capoeira here in Indianapolis. So, it's really cool to give that value to them. So my students get a space where they can show off their movements and their skills and their learning. So let's do it. Let's keep growing the capoeira. We can do it. Let's talk about business. You can be shy at talking about business. It's normal. It's nothing about anything else. Capoeira. Capoeira we can love it so much. We can be the art and cultural thing so much. Can be so much, everything about capoeira that you already know and I already know. But that's not going to pay the bills in the building. Somebody got to pay that bill. Because if you are going to rent a studio and you come to a landlord and you are like, landlord, but I love so much capoeira, And he's like, okay, now pay me rent, So we got to take care of that. And by taking care of that means we got to do our homework. We got to learn how to do business, talk to people, bring people into our class, advertising. Some people say that the selling, is a part of just monetary, but I personally, my personal opinion, I feel like selling is everything. Selling is not just a financial transaction. It can be a friendship transaction. When you go to a job interview, you gotta sell yourself. When you go to a friendship, you gotta sell yourself. Hey, my name is Kashishi. I teach in Indianapolis. Who are you? You get to know each other. That's what we do when we go to a job interview. Job interview is not a financial transaction. It's a time transaction. So is and then you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Then from there, you quote unquote sell capoeira to people, so capoeira they can understand what you have, how you feel about capoeira, what you like about capoeira, so people can join your classes, and then from there you can sell the no sell I'm sorry explain the cultural part. But at the beginning, is hard to catch. I think, I don't know, well, at least myself, when I started capoeira in 2001, when I started, I didn't think about the cultural part. I thought about these movements are really cool. I want to learn how to kick like that and how to do cartwheel like that, because I don't know cartwheels. And then, like 5-6 months later, I was like, oh, this is actually really rich culture. I want to learn now this. And then, of course, everything else fall in place. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. It's a very short episode, but we have to think about capoeira as a business entity, because if we want to grow this in here, just growing it by love is going to be hard if you don't have an entity. And for example, let's do this. If you go to a school, not everybody, of course, not all the schools are the same. This is my own perspective of once again. If you are going to a school and you are like, I'm Kashishi LLC, I want to teach capoeira, do a workshop here in your school, will you let me do it? Yeah, sure. But if you are just an individual, I'm Kashishi, I do capoeira, I love this, great, you probably can get it. But you can also, people are gonna be like, okay, well, let me see the papers, let me pass it, let me read about it, or whatever. Both ways. Just from my own perspective, I think it's going to be easier. If you have getting into schools without that, that's beautiful, that's amazing. I admire your work too. Yeah, I admire everybody that do capoeira, but trust me, talk to somebody that has a capoeira studio, that own a capoeira studio, or have a business capoeira studio where they have way more than just capoeira. If they are just more than capoeira, trust me, they probably have a studio. They probably are the owner of the studio, or they rent the studio and they diversify the classes so they can pay for rent or even make a living. And just imagine this. I don't know if you know the story of Mesa Pastinha, but Mesa Pastinha, he passed very poor. He passed on a house by himself. Of course, I don't know the specific moment, but the story that I got before, he passed on by himself. Do you imagine if Mesa Pastinha had a school, had a business, had a business that he take care about, that he takes care of this school, and he has a business, he will be safe on that part. He probably wouldn't die poor. He will be very, very successful, because he was such amazing capoeirista, and because he loved this so much. He loved it so much that today he is still a legend in capoeira. So I think it's better for us to start learning about business. Just my personal opinion. Go there, do your homework. If you don't have one, if you do have one, amazing, really, really amazing. Let's grow it. If you have one, contact me so we can talk about business here in the podcast. Is awesome. I like to talk to people about this kind of business, or business in capoeira, because it's not an easy job. It's a hard work. Okay, so if you are out there listening to this, you made it this far, please contact me, because I want to talk to you. And just to close it, I just want to let you know, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please follow on social media, follow on Instagram, follow on Facebook, follow on YouTube. Watch all the interviews on YouTube. We have so much information out there, man. Like I said, over 1,000 minutes in... Wait. I'm sorry. Yeah, like over 1,000 minutes. I don't remember. But it's a lot of information, And it's a lot of information that we have there in the podcast. Valuable information for you to find motivation, to learn how other people did their business, so you can grow your business in capoeira, and you can have you can grow a capoeira school. And even if you don't have a business, that's cool. You also have a lot of information here, information from capoeiristas to capoeiristas. This is the podcast for you. This is the podcast for us. This is the podcast, the Capoeira Experience podcast. And before I close it, let me tell you this. When we learn about business, it's really good for us to it's going to be easier when we grow our capoeira school, because you understand how business can drive foot traffic. And by foot traffic, trust me, you are going to create more. And probably some point there's capoeiristas that only do capoeira as a full-time. Do you imagine doing your own capoeira full-time? That would be super fun. But to get to that point, we have to be very educated. Okay, so read, understand, study everything you want to do, either business or capoeira, but get information and get educated. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much. Follow us. I know you're watching that right there. Okay. I know you're watching or listening. Okay. Follow us on social media. Thank you so much. This is Instructor Kashishi from the Capoeira Experience podcast. Signing out. Peace. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for getting this far. Remember, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is going to help us and help me to get bigger numbers and bigger subscribers, so we can give more information. Okay, please, if you're listening, I know you're listening, I know you're watching, please give me a subscribe, give me a like. Okay, I know you're watching right here or listening. All right, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening every single episode, especially the episode we just did. All right, thank you so much. Peace.